Hey, everybody, I'm Hillary Atkin from the Atkin Report, and I am delighted to welcome Samuel Harness from The Voice to this edition of Hillary's Happy Hour. Samuel, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you, Hillary?
Really great, thank you. And I'm having really a great time watching The Voice season 21 so far. I enjoyed your audition of Three Doors Down, Here Without You so much.
Thank
And
you.
Kelly and Carson knew that song right away
Yeah.
from 20 years ago. But what was going through your mind as you were performing, Samuel?
Oh man, you can't really prepare for a moment like that. I've been touring around for about 3 or 4 years now, full time. Bars, breweries, wineries, you name it, weddings. I've probably played there, and this is a different kind of moment. I thought I would be prepared, but you're singing in front of some of the biggest artists in the world, and especially with Ariana Grande on this season. And so, you know, um, I was just feeling extremely blessed to be in the position that I was in. And, it's such a powerful song. And so I was happy that the emotion was conveyed properly. That made me really happy.
Well, it obviously really got to 3 out of 4 of the coaches. So John turned around first, and then Ariana, and then Blake, and they all commented on your rasp and how unique it was. But what was it like for you in the moment choosing amongst the three of them to be your coach?
Yeah. Well, in that moment, you're looking at some of the biggest music artists in the world, and you're like, okay, could I take all of you at the same time? And it's hard to just choose one, but the reason I went with John is because he has the ability to sing multiple genres himself, and he appears in lots of different styles of music. And I have a unique approach to my music and, my sound. And so I felt like he would be the best pick. And so in that moment, it kind of just felt like a sure thing that, he was who I really wanted to work with.
It's interesting you pointed out Louis and Bruno and Ed, because the vibrato and the rasp that you were working with was so unique and interesting and signature for you. And sometimes artists that have so much rasp in their voice don't have the range. I don't have the range to execute what you're able to do, but I have the rasp, and so I'm jealous. But thank you. It's a really powerful thing as an audience member to have an artist emote like that. You will be a magical addition to Team Legend. I would love to work with you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
John said he was jealous of your range. And I obviously you really admire him, and you've touched upon some of the things that are key to your philosophy of music. But what else do you hope to learn from John throughout this coming season?
Honestly, there are so many things I'm looking forward to, learning from him, just the ability to listen more. And he's a very technical artist. He knows what he's talking about when it comes to a lot of things, when it comes to the technicalities of music. And so for me, just learning those, because I taught myself how to play guitar and I taught myself to sing. And, I don't know how to read music. I'm not a technical artist. And so I'm looking forward to working with somebody who knows that side of the industry and, that side of music, and learn more and, take those insights and incorporate them into my future performance.
Well, I do have to ask you, was that your strategy going in? Was, what were you thinking? Were you thinking, if John turns, I'm going to go with him? Were you totally open to what happened? Or what was your thought process before you're blind?
Yeah. I knew that if any of them turned around, that would be a crazy experience. And, the fact that 3 of them turned around was awesome. But no, I didn't have anybody specific in mind. I knew that they're all great artists and they would all have benefits to working with each one. But as soon as John turned around, that was somebody I did realize then, it started to evolve the more I spoke with him, that, this guy understands where I'm coming from, being a unique artist himself. So, yeah, it just kind of fell into place perfectly.
I guess I'll ask you, Samuel, who do you pick as your coach? Obviously not Blake.
Come on, Samuel. Let's do this. Come on, Samuel.
You all have made really good points, and you're all amazing artists. The person I would like to work with is John.
Well, Ariana really made a very eloquent plea for you. And as a viewer, I thought that you might go with her, but I'd love to hear kind of what you think. She's brand new, and if you could feel kind of a different vibe or mood going on around Ariana as the newest coach.
Oh yeah, she's a massive superstar, and she's such a talented. She's a writer, she's a producer. She does all of these things, and so the fact that I was able to even have the ability to sing in front of her and the opportunity to sing in front of her, that right there is just, a once in a lifetime opportunity. And yeah, the things that she said to me, I could not stop smiling. It was crazy to know. I had to keep pinching myself, because this is Ariana Grande. This is the person known all around the world. And so yeah, her argument went over. I deeply considered picking her, but at the same time, like I said, as soon as I saw John turn around, it was just kind of fell right into place.
Well, I also have to ask you about Kelly, because, obviously you can't see this when you're performing, but Kelly responded to your performance right away. And frankly, I was shocked that she didn't turn around. She did explain it. She felt like everyone else beat her to it. But were you prepared for kind of the squabbling that went on between her and Blake over you? Were you ready for that?
Oh man, like I say, it's just, I'm speechless, because you're looking at some of the top artists in the world, and the fact that I don't know, I'm just speechless when it comes to talking about that, because she is such a talented artist, and she's got her little quarrels with Blake, and it's just funny to watch their interaction at the same time. So it's a very lighthearted experience at the same time, because it's such a pressured moment, coming from singing such an emotional song in front of, people and the biggest people in the industry. So it lightened the mood, and it made everything, remember, these are normal people still, so it made everything a lot more lighthearted. Yeah.
Well, it was really fun to watch. And before we wrap it up, I wanted to ask you, you mentioned you're touring. So tell us about, it's, obviously not right at the moment because of the voice, but tell us about your tour, where you've played and what's going on with that.
So for about 4 years now, 3 to 4 years now, I remember I started out at a local brewery in my hometown, Fort Wayne, Indiana. And I played there because one of my friends was the manager there. And I reached out to her and I said, hey, I noticed you have live music. I'm trying to get into it. Could I come play? And we negotiated out a price that now I look back, I'm like, thank God I don't take that price now. But it was a humbling experience, just getting out and singing in front of people at a local brewery. And ever since then, it's been the response of the listeners that has skyrocketed for me and been able to give me the career that I've had, just from the unique approach that I have to my music and my stylistic choices when it comes to singing. And so, I'll forever be grateful for the breweries, wineries, the weddings that I've been honored, to play in, so it's been the listeners. They've made it easier, and it's snowballed ever since that beginning.
Well, you're going to have so many more as you continue your journey on The Voice. And I wanted to wrap this up and propose a toast to you, Samuel, and your continued success on The Voice.
Cheers. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thanks for being with me.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.